Hey guys, hope you had a good weekend. We are back again with WGL APAC-ASIA Season 2. This is the Gold Series. My name is Susie Kim. This is Wolf Schroeder, and we are back on a Monday with more tanks.
That's right, it's Monday, the start of a new week 2 World of Tanks broadcast coming at you guys this week. And let's talk about, some of the overviewing pictures that are being made this season.
Yep, let's look at the overview here. Like we had said, going straight into it, we started last November around Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving time, and we are going to go until February 4th. Not a lot of time left, just a couple weeks. I think 2 more weeks left.
Yeah, 2 more weeks, I believe.
Yeah,
like
and
3 including this one, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. 3 weeks including this one. So the tournament structure is a best of 9, and again, 4 maps. That's the one thing that has changed this time around in this season, and everything else is the same: tiebreaker and 8-team double round robin.
Yep, the rules are attack defense, as you guys already know. Going to be up to 68 points of tanks, 10-minute time for the battle time. We've got a few new maps: 3 points for a win, 2 points for winning in a tiebreaker, 1 point for losing that tiebreaker, and 0 points for a loss.
Yep, and like we said, the map pool has changed a little bit, and if you guys have been watching for the whole season, then I'm sure you're used to it and you know it. But let's go ahead and introduce to you the teams that have been a part of this amazing ride so far. We have had EL Gaming, Horsemen, Super Noobs, Immortals. EL and Super Noobs being 2 teams that have just been showing incredible games.
Yeah, we have Super Friends coming in as a new team, not performing as well as Super Noobs, but Super Noobs are really tearing it up. Still currently technically in first place in the rankings, and I feel like for B Gaming and Karen Tiger, it's going to be one of these 2 teams that gets 4th place and gets into the playoffs. We just don't know which one yet. I mean, if you look at the rankings, they're like right on top of each other. They're so close to each other, and it's this sick, awesome battle between these 2 Japanese teams to see who's going to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. It's just really interesting to see how these teams are finally ranking up, and seeing where they belong on this ranking ladder that we have. Team Efficiency had a really slow start, but been looking much better towards the end of the season. But makes me think, is it a little too late for them?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough. Well, here's our ranking screen, so you guys can take a look at that. You can see Team Efficiency is towards the bottom. Now, for them, I think the first and foremost goal is going to be to stay in Gold Series, so they got to get up to 6th place. They're only 2 points away from that, and they will be playing today. But again, looking at the 2 Japanese teams, they're both right next to each other in 4th place. Now, the winning team of those 2 will likely join Horsemen, EL, and Super Noobs in the top 4. Horsemen haven't secured their spot just yet either, though, so it's possible that both Japanese teams get in. Horsemen don't, but we'll see as the rest of this.
That is very true. I mean, if Karen Tiger are still playing their crazy all auto-loader composition, I'm not sure if they'll have a chance to be able to do that, but we'll see. The first game here we have is B Gaming versus Team Efficiency, and like I said, Team Efficiency has been playing a lot better in these recent days. And I think their main goal now is to just not get relegated, right?
Yeah, exactly. Try to stay in this league. This is the most, it's basically the best league in Asia.
Yep.
And it's a really fun league to play in, and it's got the biggest prize pool. And if you actually make it to top 4, you end up going to fly to Korea to play in studio in front of a huge audience. So I think being in Gold Series for next season, even though Team Efficiency may have struggled with the new Tier 10 meta, if you make it to the next season, maybe they'll figure things out by then.
Absolutely. And I want to point out that the Immortals, they were a lot higher on this ranking list last season.
Yeah.
It's really interesting for me to see that they are actually in 8th place right now.
Yeah, all the way down there at the bottom, 1 and 9, including 1 DQ, I believe. So they've really just not impressed this season.
Yeah.
And they've played a lot of games, so they've played all 10 matches, and 1 and 9 is kind of gross.
It kind of is. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at today's matchup. So today, our first match of the day is going to be B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. Again, Team Efficiency wanting this win to make sure that they solidify their position inside the Gold Series for next season. And B Gaming, they've got a lot to fight for too. Are they going to be the top Japanese team to win and, make it up there?
And then Karen Tiger will go up against the Immortals after that. So again, both Japanese teams set to play today, and the points really do matter. It's almost like Team Efficiency is kind of playing for Karen Tiger as well, trying to stop B Gaming from getting those points. And then our final match of the night will be between the Super Friends and EL Gaming. And it's always fun to see EL Gaming play. Super Friends, again, one of our newer teams, not as successful. But no matter what level of team EL Gaming is playing against, it's always a treat. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Right, Super Friends still right now in what, 5th place? Oh, 6th place.
Yeah, 6th place.
Yeah, so they're secure for next season as of right now. But we will have to see. We still have a couple more days left of games, and the ranks can definitely change left and right. So we'll have to go ahead and wait and see on that. Let's go ahead and introduce to you the first team that's going to be playing, and that is going to be B Gaming.
B Gaming, such a sick team. They were really inconsistent at the start of the season, but they've really started to pull things together, I feel like, towards the middle of our round robin. They've got great players like Nipa, Tamati, Super Roshi, 7mm, Karaya, Samo, Shimip, not playing all the time, but when he plays, he looks really solid, especially on maps like Himmelsdorf. Tiltil Matil, their new player, who's always on that tier 8 filler tank. A really great lineup of players, and basically, like we always talk about with B Gaming, everyone on this lineup plays.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
They are very good at switching back and forth. Every single one of them has a role, and it doesn't really seem anyone's very, like, the weak link, if you will.
Yeah, there's definitely not a player that seems like a B-teamer. It's like everyone's just all together on this, and you could see any sort of lineup from B Gaming on any map. You never really know what to expect.
All right, then we have Team Efficiency here. Team Efficiency, I mean, we've been seeing, like we said, much better towards the end of the season so far. And players like Dexta, Death Skies, D-Juice, we don't always see them. They kind of swap in and out. But the guys that we do see a lot, Ma, Safi, we haven't seen, Skell and Nomad, the newer guys, they've been playing quite a lot too.
Yeah, we haven't seen them as much in like very recent games, but they did play a lot at the beginning. But yeah, this is another one of those teams that rotates their players out quite a lot. We see Deathsky's playing a lot this season. He didn't play as much last season. And yeah, I feel like D-Juice and Dexta probably top 2 players, although Grift has made some really sick plays in recent times, especially on that autoloader. So, a great team, and I feel like Team Efficiency is super underrated. Even though they're kind of towards the bottom of the rankings, I think they're really, really good.
Absolutely. They have been coming up with some great strategies lately, and we're going to have to see how those pan out. So, it looks like here, let's go ahead and talk about the maps that they've chosen. All right, so we're going to go with Ghost Town first and Himmelsdorf. This is very standard. We've always see these 2 maps basically played. Then we have Cliff and Steps as map 3 and 4, and our tiebreaker on Mine.
So Mine's going to be the tiebreaker. Was often the tiebreaker last season. Usually it's Cliff this season.
Yeah.
So we have Steps in our top 4 maps, though, which means that there's a high chance we're going to see that. It's one of our more rare maps, one of the maps we see the least, I would say. Ruinberg kind of passed it for, like, more commonly used. We're not going to see any Prokhorovka, though. So this map lineup is going to be for the first 2 maps that set the pace really standard, and then things are going to get a lot more aggressive on Cliff and Steps.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that works. I think all the teams have chosen their tanks and are just about ready. But yeah, I mean, Ghost Town, tried and true map for the first game. Should be good.
Yeah, it should be good. And it's really, again, like the first 2 maps, especially when they're these city maps, really set the pace for the conditions of the teams, what sort of strategies they're showing us, and how well they're playing, on a day like today in the middle of the night,
In the middle of the night.
They got to play in the middle of the night. These matches are very late.
Okay, guys, I think we are ready to go into game number 1, so let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome to set number 1. This is Ghost Town. We have B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. It looks like Team Efficiency will be on the attack first.
B Gaming is bringing an AMX 30 with their Conqueror as well as a Batchat, so being very Japanese in that the Japanese meta seems to be bringing a lot more autoloaders. Bringing the AMX 30 instead of bringing the Tier 8 1390, which is interesting. Team Efficiency is bringing Dexta on their U251, but their lineup is very similar otherwise. Both teams bringing E100s, 2 for B Gaming, 1 for Team Efficiency, and an E5 Grift on that instead of actually being the autoloader. Safi's going to be the autoloader this game.
There is Dexta. He's going to head up and see if he can scout, but man, we can see it. He's pretty close to other members of B Gaming. I hope he doesn't get caught out.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk when you're running that RU251, especially if you get hit by a blind shot like the ones that just got sent there. You can actually just be eliminated that early. But often what the 251 will do is try to find the enemy Batchat, see if it's up in the north, and just try to give any sort of information to Team Efficiency that he can.
All right, I for one am glad that they're not playing the Karen Tiger style of all auto loaders here.
Me too, Susie. That like actually gave me quite a few nightmares.
I haven't been able to sleep since that day, man.
Yeah.
This whole weekend was just like Batchat's nightmares.
I actually had a dream. You know, like when you wake up and you look at your phone, see like a line of text messages on your notifications. I like wake up in the dream. I wake up and I look at my phone and it's like a line of all like Batchats, like B25 or BC25 tons. Like every time, like I'm like, oh my god.
They're all dying.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, Batchats, all of them. Like, it's my nightmare.
Okay.
It's actually giving me like PTSD, Susie, like thinking about this right now.
All right, guys. So here we go. We have started. Everyone's kind of found their places in the city right now.
Yeah, I like Team Efficiency's position, actually. They're in a good position to pressure the base capture number 2.
Ooh. Yeah, Matil getting caught outside. Dexter even taking some shots. It looks like Momiji is also going to be doing the same.
Yeah, a lot of tanks firing at Tiltil here, and he's very likely to be eliminated. He's actually down to 42 health.
Wow.
Ma might take the shot, misses it. Good shot nonetheless. But Tiltil Matil is essentially removed from the game.
Basically, yeah.
He's not going to be doing any damage.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Ooh, Ma might actually hit him here.
Ma is really gunning for him.
It's hard to hit at this range. I don't think he will, but he's really trying to take that proper shot. Tiltil Matil also has some slight coverage here from that little bump.
All right, but other than that, it looks, yeah, everyone is just positioned all around the middle base capture point. Ma is the one who's going to take the damage. Wow, that was Nipa. He's going to give some cover fire for Tiltil.
That's right. He's like kind of punishing Ma for sticking his head out so far just to get that kill. 2 good blocks here from Ma, though.
Very nice.
Good position. It's really important to position your tank in such a way you don't get penetrated like that. Oh man, Dexa taking damage. Tiltil Matil is like the MVP. He doesn't even know it yet. He's changing this game. All right, Dexta. Let's see if he gets hit again here. It'd be quite huge if Tiltil can actually do this much damage and actually have such an impact on the game despite being basically dead. Now, when it comes to movement in the middle of the map, Team Efficiency isn't really pushing the issue just yet, but they're getting into position too.
Oh, Dexter with that final blow. Tiltil is finally out. He can't do any more damage or harassment, and knowing that, Team Efficiency is going to go ahead and start this base capture. Death Skies hops on in. Base capture has started. 90 seconds.
Oh, I didn't actually even mention that Skell's on the 50B. Somehow that just it totally slipped my mind. But they do have 2 autoloaders here. Their lineup with only one E100 and an E5, which is kind of weird, but more on that later, is somewhat flimsy. So this position could be broken by a big B gaming push. But they don't have enough information to push for that just yet. Super Roshi's trying to see the positioning here with Tamati, like where the best angle to approach from is going to be to defend this.
All right, well, base capture is still happening. They know they have a full minute now that they can use to try to stop this base capture. Super Hiroshi, yeah, like you said, trying to inch in, but you see the way that the Team Efficiency is positioned. Griffs has a great shot. Everyone is just positioned really well around the base capture to be able to try to block anyone getting in their way.
So
oh, here comes 7mm.
Yeah, see, these 2 E100s are going to be the ones that try to push in and break
this.
There
we go. He does try to break it. But Griffs on one side is going to be attacking while we have Death Skies attacking him from the middle, and he's going to go down.
And you know, this E5
oh,
actually...
that was Dexter. Nice.
This E5 is actually... And that's a great shot, by the way. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because Dexter was on the other side of the map, basically. But seeing this E5 kind of get mixed in into the mix is giving like them a little bit more firepower. It's kind of like a medium of the road heavy tank in between the E100 and the 215B. And it's a little bit faster, and it has more consistent damage. So, you know, they kill the tank with him. And this is looking really good for Team Efficiency so far. I mean, it's 7 to 5 tanks.
Yeah, they've been able to eliminate 2 tanks right away. Tamati is taking some damage from Death Skies. Safi and Nipa having a Batchat battle.
Yep. Luckily not pure Batchat in this game, but...
Yeah, thank God.
So Tamati taking another chunk of damage, and I gotta say, like, looks like Team Efficiency is pretty poised to take this first game. There's not a lot of... I mean, even if you look at the hit points, it's like, well, the game is same in hit points, but the tank count and the positioning is so good for Team Efficiency right now. Even if they keep denying this base capture, I think they're going to end up being eliminated overall. That, I think, might be the best way for B Gaming to win, is actually to win by timeout, because there are only 4 minutes left on the clock.
All right, well, Nipa almost, I was going to say full rounds, but he's not. He's down 1. Just looking for a spot to be able to do some harassment, but not really being able to find the right tank to hit.
Yeah, I feel like Super Hiroshi is definitely going to be the guy who needs to deny his base capture, but he doesn't have to rush it right now. And at this moment in time, just looking at the base timer, B Gaming knows there's only 1 tank in there. A second tank coming in would be quite scary, so probably around like 45 seconds left on that timer. They're probably going to have to start pushing in, because what if 3 tanks go in there, then suddenly the game just ends.
But once 3 tanks get in there, I mean, that's automatically calling for a brawl, right?
Yeah.
So I think right now what Team Efficiency need to do is just catch out any 1 tank that's trying to deny this base capture.
The 50B, notice the 50B is way at the back. If you look at the minimap, you can see it's all the way at the bottom left of the back shot. Those 2 damage dealers are just waiting for their opportunity, waiting for that brawl to start, and they're going to come in and try to clean up house. And I think that's a really smart plan. Team Efficiency is really kind of planned for everything here in this base capture attempt.
All right, 27 seconds left in this base capture. Looks like B Gaming really do need to push in and do something about it. Griffs takes a shot. Oh, Dexa does go down, but Taki definitely takes a bunch of damage on his way. There we go. Deathskies finishes that off. 15 seconds left. Griff's going to see if he can take some shots onto Tamati. Make sure no one can deny this base capture anymore. 4 seconds.
Here come those tanks. That's what I was talking about. And I think that's, just barely not.
Oh my gosh.
It's reset here, and Momiji does go down. This might be a bit too overzealous by Team Efficiency, but they're still massively ahead. Only 2 tanks left.
They really call for that brawl. They almost plan for it, just in case that Deathskies does get taken out. But now look, there's only 2 tanks left for B Gaming. Safi does go down.
Yep,
but
Skell's still alive.
They've got Nipa left, and once Nipa's out of rounds, he's going to be a sit and duck. There we go. He's down with 117 HP.
And he's on reload, so he's basically already dead.
Yep.
His story has already been written. Griffs will finish him off.
Coming around the side. There we
go.
Wow, and Team Efficiency will go ahead and win game number 1.
Team Efficiency really impressing me recently.
That was great.
That was one of the best attack side Ghost Town pushes that we've seen on this map. The E5 on Griffs, really like giving that extra support on the edge. Like a little bit beefier than a 215B, not as much, firing rate, but like somewhere in between that and an E100, which I think is great if you want to have a tank on the outside of the capture point to defend with, instead of someone on the inside who would much be better on like a IS-7 or like an E100 inside of there. But also the way they use their autoloaders and position them on the outside, and the accuracy that we saw in that initial fight where actually, who was it, Momiji or the tier 8 tank for B Gaming got basically picked off and destroyed early on.
Right away.
And that was a big problem for B Gaming because they lost vision and they couldn't keep track of the autoloaders anymore.
Oh, the AMX-30 you mean?
Yeah, it was an AMX-30.
Yeah, the tier 9.
That's right, yeah, it was an AMX-30. It nearly died like immediately at the beginning of that game, so that definitely gave a huge edge to Team Efficiency, but I feel like that was one of the most patient attack side games I've seen in a while on this map. Like most teams usually start to freak out when the timer gets that low, but Team Efficiency really didn't force the issue until they were like down to 6 seconds and put 3 tanks in there, and they really knew just how to finish the game.
That was actually very, very well done. Well, it looks like for Team Efficiency, they're going to go ahead and change up their roster. I think Momiji is coming out and Itis is coming in. Like we said, and these 2 teams are teams that like to swap back and forth, and they're very good with just about every member. So. Yeah.
So I think that this first game gives a lot of momentum to Team Efficiency. I think most people would favor B Gaming going to the series, but getting momentum in a first game like this is pretty important. Now, if they win the second game, then I think the momentum is huge.
I think so too. If they win that second game, then they head into Himmelsdorf with the 2-0 lead. I mean, I think that's going to be really big. I'm secretly rooting for Team Efficiency because I do want them to stay #1 in the Gold Series, and I feel like the improvements they've made in this season have just been tremendous.
Also keep in mind, Karen Tiger is watching this with fingers crossed, hoping that Team Efficiency takes this win to prevent B Gaming from getting 3 points, so that when they play later, they can hope to get their own 3 points and then further their lead over B Gaming. Because if they both win, then they're in the same place, tied at I think 18 points. Yeah, they'd both be at 18 points. So for Karen Tiger, they're like, I hope they lose. Like, I hope we can get our own 3 points too, because we got to get ahead of them.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to take a look here. They are swapping sides now and choosing all different tanks. Let's see.
Yeah, I think we're going to probably see that E5 rotated out for team efficiency because I don't think it's going to be as good on the defense. And then for B Gaming, I'm really curious what sort of lineup they're going to bring because Japanese teams liking multiple autoloaders. They're using Batshats, one in Batshat and 150B, both teams were. So I think that might be what we see, but I'm not sure how many E100s and how many 2 and 5Bs we're going to see.
All right, we will see that in just a second because Game 2 has begun. Let's get into it. Set number 2, B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. Team Efficiency has taken the first map, and now it is B Gaming's turn to be on the attack.
All right, taking a look at these tanks. B Gaming is rocking a Batshat, a 50B for autoloaders, 2 215Bs, an E100, and the AMX-30 again, Tiltil Matil on that, and Samo on the Conqueror. For Team Efficiency, they're running 3 215Bs. Dexta is on an E5.
Okay.
It's not Grifts this time, but still an E5 sneaking in there. A 50B and the Batshat, as well as Itis on the RU-251.
All right, well, similarly, it looks like B Gaming trying to get into that position that Team Efficiency were in a little bit ago. But already, Safi from afar, wow, chunks down Tiltil Motil.
Well, this is one of those Batshat battles, as we like to call them over here.
Well, Safi's pretty much out because he's been attacking Tiltil Matil.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's actually going to have to back off here while he reloads Nipa. Not actually able to take a shot at him. Safi can be very happy about that, very relieved that he was able to escape for free there. But at the same time, B Gaming has gained very little ground, and they're doing a weird push. Okay, they finally do get over, like...
All right, I thought they were going to do the same position that Team Efficiency were, but now that I look at it, they're all kind of all grouped up together.
They're like, they want to win by elimination, it looks like, not by base capture, because they're going to the south. Like, that's not... There's no base capture 3 down there, you know? Like, I mean, they are positioned in such a way where they could eventually get into base capture 2, but look at the coverage for Team Efficiency. There's almost no way they're just going to be able to break into that.
Team Efficiency definitely came into this game prepared.
Absolutely. Like, we'll see what happens on Himmelsdorf, but for this map, I'm like, I got to look at these two teams and say, Team Efficiency prepared way better, like hardcore prep going into this. Looks like B Game is kind of trying to rely on their mechanics alone for this particular map. You never know exactly what maps you're going to play on until the day of the matches, because that's when the vetoes and picks are actually done. So you can't actually like prepare a whole week for the maps because you don't know which ones are going to be. So B Game might have been preparing harder for like Prokorovka or something.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, you could definitely tell Team Efficiency have been preparing for this one. And again, slow start to this game as well. B Gaming trying to figure out what they want to do and how they want to attack. Ooh, Itis, be careful. It's Itis on the 251.
Yeah.
Gets caught out by Tiltil Matil, but it's okay. So far, so good.
This is a bit of a slower game here. I want to take this time to point out that even though Susie should not be here, she's insanely sick. She's got so much passion for this game. I told her not to come, but she's here anyways.
I literally have a thermos of Theraflu next to me, guys.
She's barely alive. Like, she's less alive than we saw that AMX-30 last game. Was barely surviving.
I'm going to say I'm at about 10 HP right now.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Hanging in there for this broadcast. It's very cold in Seoul right now, like negative 10 or less degrees Celsius outside.
Anything after -5 Celsius, I feel like just is cold. Like I can't even differentiate how much colder that can get. But
looks like we're finally seeing a little bit of push in action here from B Gaming. They're gonna actually go around the bottom of the base capture point, like on that little low ground below the brick wall. And it looks like they almost want to kind of like sneak behind Team Efficiency.
All right, well here we see Itis. He's just going to skirt around. Yeah, he wants to make sure that he knows where everyone is on B Gaming. And so far he hasn't really seen much.
It's really hard to say, looking at how B Gaming is moving right now, what their plan is. Like, it doesn't seem like there is a clear plan. It seems to be a very reactionary play, which is odd on this map, especially on the attack. They may be trying to push now towards the northern base capture at the B6 cap. But, you know, it's definitely like, it's not looking good. You know, we're down to 5 minutes and 40 seconds. They don't have a lot of ground.
Yeah, we're like already down to just about half the round and not much has been happening. Okay, so Super Hiroshi takes a shot at Death Skies, but Skell also gets one countered onto him.
Yeah. And Taki's actually just going to straight up engage onto Skell. His teammates are coming up here, so I think this will be a win for him. Nipa kills Safi meanwhile, so that's a huge win. So one bat shot down.
Oh, Skell is going to go down pretty fast. Oh, no, but Taki's out of rounds as well. Skell escapes just barely with 47 HP.
And this is looking really good for B Gaming, actually. It looks like they really did just want to win by elimination. Samo taking a lot of damage here, though.
Yeah, Samo is
He's
much
pinned.
covered.
Yeah. He can't really do anything, but his buddies are going to cover him if Team Efficient tries to go in there. It may have been a bit of a mistake to push that far forward. Okay, Ma versus Taki. Taki wins that fight. I just may actually kill Nipa. That would be insane. Oh my god, here we go.
I think that's what he was planning on doing. Then he goes and gets that shot.
Just goes to show you how low, or you know, how little armor the Batshot actually has that gets killed by an RU-251 like that.
All right, well, now it looks like it's Griffs and Death Skies who are pinned to their position. There's really not much they can do on those 215B reloads here. B Gaming's just going to come in, try to eliminate Death Skies, and Griffs go down.
Dexta,
you're the last. Oh, geez.
This is basically just B Gaming has already shattered Team Efficiency's formation. Now they're just going to sweep up the pieces. Idis, the last one at 16 health.
Oh, come on.
Down he goes.
There we go. B Gaming, go ahead and take game number 2. Now we are tied 1-1. And like I said, I do apologize, guys. I'm very nasally.
She's hanging in there. We're going to get through this. It's, like I said, insanely cold in Korea. And, you know, it's...
If I do pass out on stream, just... don't fret, guys. I'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll call like somebody to take care of it.
Call my mom.
I'll call your mom, and the broadcast will continue, so don't freak out about that either.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll have the broadcast still.
Like, no matter what happens, like, the broadcast will go on, and Susie will be fine.
All right, next map, though.
Himmelsdorf time.
All right, no, well, let's go back and talk about what just happened on Ghost Town.
Okay, so basically, in that last game, B Gaming really took their time. And for me, I was starting to get worried because I was like, okay, we're down to like 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And they don't have any clear advantage when it comes to pushing base capture 1 or the B6 capture point. So I was looking like, okay, so what are they going to do? It looks like they're trying to win by elimination, but they finally found like a crack in Team Efficiency's position. And then they won the autoloader battle on the other side of the map, which meant that was one tank advantage. They had a lot of lost damage for Team Efficiency. And then they kind of just broke through that whole area, and the only tanks that were left were like an RU-251 and a bat shot that was like low on health that got killed as well. And it was just like, it was messy over there. So eventually, Team Efficiency just kind of fell apart. And I think they thought that B Gaming was going to try to capture the center capture base, because that's what it seemed like based on what vision
in the beginning,
they had.
Right. But instead it was just by elimination. Like that was their plan all along. All right, so heading into Himmelsdorf then.
Yeah, Himmelsdorf is going to be a map that's played at a similar pace to what we saw Game 2 played at in Ghost Town. It's a very big map, but it's also very cluttery when it comes to streets and stuff. There's not that many like courtyards that you can actually drive through. There's not a lot of open space. There's one courtyard in the middle, but everything else is just corridors, streets, narrow passageways.
The castle.
The castle on the high ground, which even though you're up there, it looks like a sniper spot, but there's so many buildings in the way that it's hard to get a clear shot. And the map is usually played very slowly, very patiently, and I think that's what we can expect going
We'll
into
see
this one.
some IS tanks and such. It looks like Team Efficiency are the first ones to attack. I'm assuming we'll see the IS-7 in this, and maybe a Waffen, a tank destroyer of sorts.
Yeah. I would say there's a likelihood that we will see a little bit of that, maybe on both sides even on this map. All right, looks to be loading.
All right, it does seem that way, so hold your horses, guys. We are going to get right into set number 3. All right, guys, at number 3, the score is tied 1-1. We are now on Himmelsdorf. Team Efficiency on the attack first.
All right, let's take a look at Team Efficiency's lineup since they are on the attack. 150B, a 1390, those are their autoloaders. 2 E5s. E5s seem to be getting a little bit more popular this week. We'll see if that continues. A 215B and IS4. And for BE Gaming, their lineup is pretty standard overall. 2 E100s, 2 215Bs, which used to be crazy, but now it's like almost standard on the defense. They have a 50B and a T54 lightweight with that IS7 that's going to be watching the C4 bar, or excuse me, C2 bar, as you can already see on the mini-map.
All right, well, just earlier we saw Ma on the 1390 head up to the castle side, make sure you can get some good vision on the map, big aerial map, but
what B Gaming is doing right now is like so standard. It's almost like B Gaming Googled like how to play Himmelsdorf on defense and like followed the first guide they saw on GameFAQs. Like this is like as standard as it gets. It's the best way to play the map right now in the meta. Taki is the only like outlier, I guess, to that, is he's being a little bit more aggressive than you normally would be, and he's just checking to see if any Team Efficiency players are going to poke their heads out.
Right, but just a little while ago, you saw Ma up on the high ground, and he kind of found a little dip where the 1390 fits perfectly. So even if someone was to shoot at him, he would be able to miss that. Like, it wouldn't even hit the top of his turret.
Yeah, it's basically like an archer hole, you know, like in a castle, to put this, you know, into perspective.
All right, Ma is out now. He wants to make sure, oh, you're playing with fire, buddy. Oh, his sixth sense goes off. He's like, yep, there's definitely tanks down there.
I think he might have even gotten a glimpse of that 50B, and he's like, oh, I definitely will not challenge that. That is one AMX. That's the big brother AMX that you don't want to fight.
We don't want to challenge him, no.
Yeah, so
yeah, that little groove there, I like that. He can definitely fit in there. Skell on the E5, heading out forward.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Scary, scary, but as you said, you know, that dip there, still going to basically give him a little bit of protection as well as vision. And he's just trying to hide up here. If you go all the way to the top corner, like you can see a little bit over that, but not too much. He's trying to see if he can get any sixth sense, I think, more than anything else. Whoa, someone else took a shot at him, Nipa, in fact.
All right, but like you said, B Gaming playing extremely defensively over by base capture number 2, especially. They also have the lightweight, you know, making sure that base capture number 1 is covered. So the question is, what is Team Efficiency going to do?
That's the question, because always a fear, and I always have to reiterate this, you know, when I get concerned about these attacking teams, is once you get into like 7-minute territory, and then especially once you get into 5-minute territory, when you're looking at the game, when you're watching as a spectator or as like a commentator like us, you look at this and go, well, what has the attacking team accomplished? Like, what sort of moves have they made? How much damage have they done? And do they have an aggressive position? And if the answer to all those questions is no, we have to wonder like what their game plan is,
right,
and what their next move is going to be, because they don't have any advantages, and the time is always working against them.
Okay. So here comes Ma. He's left the castle side. He's going to come down and see if he can join the rest of his team. Here they are. They're down here. He needs to go scout and make sure that Team Efficiency know exactly where they need to go to, I guess, not be shot at.
Yes.
That would be optimal.
I would have to agree with that sentiment, Susie. 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go as all these tanks are forming up. Now, this is a common strategy that attacking teams will do, where they'll form up to the right side or the east side of the courtyard on this position right here with these heavy tanks. And they're hoping that one tank pokes into scout and they just instantly light them up and destroy them. But B Gaming is not really even looking into that. They're playing, like I said, insanely standard. Like they're playing like EL would play this map. They're not going to break any rules, not going to reinvent the meta. They're just literally going to play the safest way.
All right, well, here comes Maul. Nipa's sixth sense comes up, and Maul wants to make sure that base capture number 1 area is kind of sort of open, I guess.
Now, one thing that Team Efficiency could be accomplishing as well with this little position on the east side of the courtyard is to move to the south passage and actually go down that street and eventually just overwhelm and attack base capture number 1 with support from the castle. We have seen some teams do that in the past, but they're being insanely patient about it.
They are. There's 5 minutes and 33 seconds now left on this clock. And here we go. Finally, some movement from the heavy tanks here on Team Efficiency. They're going to go towards the north. I think the idea is to get the AMX 1390 to make them think they're going to the base capture 1 and actually go rush base capture number 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. Here we're going to see some shots exchanged. Taki sticking his head up a bit too high.
Wow, that was the first bit of damage in the game so far.
Very common on Himmelsdorf for this sort of slow and patient and not as fun as for Susie and I liking our brawl style sort of Himmelsdorf game. It's very technical. This map is like the chessboard, whereas the other maps are like battlegrounds.
And that's fine. Like I'm really glad these teams are definitely taking the time to play the best strategy possible for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, it's as much as I enjoy the brawls, like that would just not actually be the correct way to play.
I am the brawl queen. I understand.
Yeah, like there's just too much variance in that sort of playstyle, especially on a map like this.
Oh, good shot, but no penetration.
Yep. Ice is like, I'm fine. It's a little piece of wind hit me on the back.
Yeah.
Felt a breeze there.
Skell, not so much. Skell went ahead and took a little bit of damage. Tamati was able to take that shot.
See if he can get another one. He might, actually. It's tough to say.
All right, base capture has started. I think they threw in one of the E100s into that corner capture point.
Yep, it's not the 1390, but the 1390 actually can go and hide in the F2 cap point as well. Like that's definitely something that he can use to like draw the tanks into two different directions.
For sure. It looks like it is Death Skies. Skell is going to be right here in the middle of the courtyard to see if he can catch anyone on the way to base capture number 2. Yep, it is Death Skies. The E100 is definitely sitting in there. Dexter and Griffs providing cover fire. Here come Tamati and Samo around the corner.
I don't think they're really going to commit. That would be too risky. Neat Mania, meanwhile, trying to see what he can do over here. Not finding much ground.
No, Nipa is taking some damage over on the other side. I think that's the 1390. I think Ma and Nipa are going at it.
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
actually having a fight. I can see it on the mini-map, and
Ma loses.
And also they're losing ground here. This is Team Efficiency's best moment to actually try to surround some of these tanks. I feel like the tanks right next to the capture point should actually try to fight like 5v2 versus 7mm and Taki.
All right, Tamati is going to be... They need to start focus firing and find one. Death Skies does go down. Samo needs to be the next one down. Griffs, go for it. Oh, you missed.
Not quite enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
Down he goes now finally, but it makes Skell have to waste another one of his shots. I think Tamati will be the next to fall here. This is still a very close game. A slight advantage to B Gaming. Let's see if Tamati can get a little bit more damage before he goes down, even shooting over Griffs at a different target.
Yep. Well, yep, there goes Tamati.
He was trying to kill Safi. That's what it looks like he was trying to hit. Safi may die to Hiroshi here.
So it's Super Hiroshi and Safi having a battle here. Taki surrounds Safi though, so that goes down. Dexter on the IS-4 finishes off Taki.
This is actually such a close game right now. 2 E5s and an IS-4 in here. The fact that it's an IS-4, not an IS-7 is pretty good for team efficiency. Like, the hit points were literally the same there for a second for these two teams. Oh my god. I think this could still go either way. Let's see. Because Nipa, for example, is like on a T-54 lightweight, so it's basically a 2v2. Skell is also basically dead. It's basically between 7mm, Neat Mania, Dexter, and Griffs this game, with a little bit of support on the side.
This is nuts.
Now, Nipa can kill Skell, which is probably what he's aiming for here.
But again, B Gaming can just run out the clock. We have 1 minute and 39 seconds left. So it's actually up to team efficiency to really go out there, hunt them out, and kill them.
You're right. I actually didn't realize the clock was so low.
All right, Griffs and Dexter, they're going to come around the corner. I think 7mm is on their radar. They definitely want to get rid of him.
All right, here we go.
Come on. Boom, boom. They do get rid of him, but Dexter takes a ton of damage. Neat Mania hits him for a lot.
I actually have to say I really don't like what Nipa is doing right now. I think he could actually hide and be more useful in this game than actually coming here. Might end up dying. If he actually fights behind Dexter, maybe he can finish him off. With Neat Mania's last shot.
Neat Mania's last shot. Oh, they're going to dance instead. Griffs might take the shot.
Now,
Dexter goes down.
Now, it's basically impossible for team efficiency to they can't base capture anymore. So now Nipa just needs to escape. He gets around that corner, and I think that's game. I don't think Griffs can hit him. Griffs is too
Griffs
slow.
is going to be able to, unless he just gets a really good shot from a faraway corner.
So I was really questioning Nipa's move, but when you kill that tank, you 100% stop that base capture from being a factor. And it was a risk, but now it basically means they win no matter what.
Yep.
Because Nipa cannot be, he just will not be caught.
Oh gosh, unless he goes.
Oh my god, okay. Griffs doesn't know where he is though. You can see where Griffs is looking right now, he's not sure.
He's got 18 seconds to find Nipa, and there's definitely no way.
This is literally the most frustrating game of World of Tanks to lose, is when you're just like, oh, he's just going to hide? Oh, come on. Well, I don't think he can get him. 5 seconds left.
5 seconds.
He's totally clueless as to where Nipa's hiding. And that's going to be a win by timeout for B Gaming. Wow.
Wow. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was fun, though. I actually really enjoy games that go down to the wire when it comes to time.
I can't even imagine how frustrated Team Efficiency must be for that one.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of had that game in the bag. And I was like thinking like, oh, Team Efficiency's got this one. Then you were like, well, there's only a minute and a half left. I was like,
oh gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
Not so much actually. Yeah. It was one of those games on Himmelsdorf that went 10 minutes. It didn't feel like it went 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy those.
Yeah. Again, do you think if Team Efficiency had started that a little bit earlier, because like they started their attack at 5 minutes, and already that's 5 minutes just kind of wasted, right?
Yeah, it almost feels like they didn't really have a concrete plan about what they wanted to do. They had Dexta spotting a little bit and trying to find out what was going on the west side base capture point, the F6 one, but they didn't actually really get like much. They didn't get much done until the last moments, and I feel like if they had been a bit more aggressive earlier, it would have been riskier, but that might have been just enough for them to win the game. It's hard to say. Like, I'm not a pro World of Tanks player, you know, like I'm like the analyst caster here, but when I look at this situation, I could see everything.
Yeah.
As you would say, we're the gods here.
We
actually
are
have total control. But I want to think that Team Efficiency could have been a little bit more aggressive, despite the fact that it was risky. I think on the attack, sometimes you have to do that. And some teams like EO Gaming, Karen Tiger, Horseman on this map, they will play patiently, but when they know they don't know, they will still be aggressive in a safe way because they're like, I got to do something. Whereas Team Efficiency was shy to do like anything. You saw them actually move their autoloaders off the castle like so late. And they knew for a long time there was only one tank down there, but they still didn't push the issue until like the last second. It was too late. So
yeah,
that's basically my like overall thoughts on that last game.
I mean, again, I'm not an analyst. I just call it as it is. But no, I was feeling the same thing. I just feel like if Team Efficiency had committed to a strategy a lot sooner, they may have had a better chance to do it. But you know what? You never know how these brawls are ever going to end up.
That's right.
And they could have just gotten very lucky towards the end. So, all right, well, we're going to switch sides then and head into game number 4. Set number 4 has begun. We're still on Himmelsdorf. It's B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. B Gaming with 2 wins. Team Efficiency's 1, and now B Gaming are going to be the ones to attack.
So we got 3 215Bs for B Gaming, which is interesting. That's going to be a lot more aggressive than what we saw Team Efficiency do. And they're already pushing out together here. 2 E100s, a T54 lightweight for vision, a 50B for damage. Team Efficiency is bringing 2 215Bs, 2 IS tanks, an IS-4 and an IS-7, a 50B and the tank destroyer autoloader, the E100 Waffen, and an RU-251, which Ma has been really pulling his weight on that, actually, in this series.
Yep, so it looks like Team Efficiency going to just set up in that very defensive position. Again, they read the same manual as B Gaming from earlier.
Yeah, number 1 on game facts, like, for sure.
And earlier you saw Taki on the AMX 50B. He has gone up to the castle side. Make sure he can cover up there.
They're doing the hide strat. B Gaming is the peekaboo strat, like come around the corner and blow you up. They're going to actually get to that. Notice that basically B Gaming is doing a very similar patient move to the southwest, or excuse me, southeast of the courtyard, but they got there way faster.
Yeah.
And I think they're actually going to, after they assess the situation, I think they're actually just going to push through the south pathway, and because these 215Bs are very fast, they might be able to get there pretty unscathed. They got to this position a lot faster. You know, this is like time efficiency at its best, what we're watching right now. And Team Efficiency has also set up a similar blockade to the northeast. There's no one even poking at that. Taki is like just watching and waiting.
All right, well, Dexta's on that IS-4, and the moment he shows his face, he's got 4 tanks with his name on it.
Yep, he's gonna most likely just try to hold that position where we've seen so many IS-4s hold before, like Ironhide, for example. Tamati is going to go on scouting duty. He is going to run into a disaster. Oh, looks like they're actually still not going to be able to see him at this angle, though.
Oh, yeah, Tamati. Are you heading down, buddy?
I don't think he's going to go. I think he's, like, just not sure enough. The thing is, if he goes most of the way down, his sixth sense will go off, and he'll turn around right away, but it might be too late, because at that point, Team Efficiency would just punish him, because their sixth sense would go off as well, and they could just chase him and kill him.
Yeah. Yep, it looks like he has decided to stay on top. There he is. Tamati is going to look through the little archer hole.
A little peek hole. Oh, I feel like I thought B Gaming was going to be a lot more aggressive, but they're really not. They're kind of just chilling.
Yep, we're just chilling here, guys.
And
And again, if Team Efficiency can make the clock work to their advantage this time around, I mean, that would be the best option for them, right?
Yeah.
They really don't need to push. It's really up to B Gaming to make the first move.
Yeah, and B Gaming is literally not going to move. Somebody's like, so is everybody frozen but me? It's like in the movie where like all time is frozen except like one character can see all the people are like frozen in space. It's like, Nipa, you go right over there. He's like, can you move? Somebody's basically just like running around trying to get any information he can, while everyone else is like, I am not moving an inch.
Well, right now, Tamati knows that there are no members of Team Efficiency down south. They're nowhere down south, period. So this might be a time for them to be able to say, hey, maybe we should push the base capture #1. There's no one out here.
Yeah.
Oh, Taki feels Maw.
Yeah, they can see each other on that sixth sense radar.
Maw's like, oh, nope.
Maw's like, I don't know who's up there. Could be everybody. He's like so scared he knocked over the telephone pole on the way out.
Griff's still hanging out in the C2 section.
Yeah.
The C2 bar.
C2 bar. And, you know, we're finally seeing that movement.
Yeah, there we go.
They're going to base capture 1, they're going to the F2.
Right. I mean, Tamati just basically went through this, said there's no members of Team Efficiency down here. Guys, this is safe. Let's go.
And this is a push that can be made very quickly because this is a very 215B heavy lineup. As you can see, the E100s will lag behind slightly, but, you know, they'll eventually make it there. This is a big, heavy, aggressive push. And we will see multiple tanks in the base capture, maybe not initially, probably just Tamati at first.
Oh, interesting. They're actually going to go through the roads, though, here into the courtyard first. Tamati's
taking a peek.
Yeah, he's going to keep his eye out, make sure that the rest of his team can follow.
Now, if they go through this road instead, they're going to rotate those E100s to the front for safety. Well, they can make this more of a surprise, whereas if they went to the south, the accuracy for you know, the IS-7 and the RU-251 would be less, and they might be able to eventually push their way through. But it would give Team Efficiency a lot more time to respond. So right now they're trying to keep this a total secret. Tamati knows the range.
Oh, yeah. Itis is able to take a shot over at Tamati, but misses. Still, no one has taken any damage. It is under 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah. So B Gaming now.
B Gaming train is coming.
Look at this. Notice how they're hiding. That no one on Team Efficiency has any idea where they are. They're basically trying to like stealth bomb this. I think they're actually going to try to burst down
the
Griff's.
IS-7. Yeah. Yep.
I think they're just going to try to blow that up and get into an unbreakable position in the base capture.
They're going to take 3, try to blow up Griff's, take Neat Mania and Super Hiroshi, go try to capture base capture #1.
And they can even also help finish Griff's off if those 3 tanks can't kill him. All right, these tanks have been spotted now. It looks like by Dexta. He sees what's going on. And Griff's is like, oh god, how many did you say? Let's see if I can survive
Tamati's
here.
going to head in there and see if he could start that base capture. He does get, the base capture does get reset though.
This is such a cool strategy.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god. B Gaming is just going to overwhelm Griff's
He's like,
now.
I'm going to join you in this bar. Oh, wow. And they're all just going to come in, see if they could take him out, like we said.
Man, C2 has never had business like this before.
Oh, you're telling me.
All
Bartender's like, guys, not in the bar.
See you later, Griff's.
All right, Neat Mania does finish him off, which means they can go ahead and base capture #1. But I don't even think they want to do that. I think they just want to fight.
Win by by elimination.
Yeah.
They want to just keep taking this fight where they're always going to have the numbers advantage. Look at this as well.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Itis, Moss, Skell just dropping like flies, one after another.
Taki with some insane accuracy at that range.
Death Skies is going to be the next one, and wow.
This could be a 7-0 sweep here for B Gaming.
This
7-3 currently. Taki is still reloading, but actually just trying to give more vision to his teammates. Dexter's going to go down. See you later. And Safi, the only real tank left with any oomph to him.
Well, once he's got his rounds back up, right now he's got no oomph.
Well, it looks like Taki's actually maybe even just going to surrender. No, he got his rounds up just barely.
Yeah.
Nothing happening, though.
All right, no perfect game. They do lose a tank, but it doesn't really matter.
I think they're kind of messing around a little bit here. But it's going to be enough. You know, like Death Skies is not going to be able to change the course of this game. Samo finishes him off. Tamati versus Safi here. Safi should... Oh, he gets killed first. Actually, I was wrong.
Mania actually go ahead and snipes that kill, and B Gaming is going to go ahead and take that next game.
So we're going to go into Cliff now as our third map as we go into Game 5. So 2 wins left for B Gaming to take this, but Team Efficiency is not out of it yet.
Yeah.
They could try to force this to go back
Again,
the other way.
Just really solid play from Team Efficiency. So it's been very, very good. And Cliff, like we said, we've seen them do pretty well on this map. This is probably one of their better maps. And so, rooting for you guys.
Excuse me. But Cliff is really it's a map that is super duper technical when it comes to accuracy, and strategy doesn't come into play that much on this map. Like the most strategic things we see on this map are tank picks. And then sometimes we see tanks push to the west side and try to go through that passageway. That happens like 1 out of 100 games on this map, but we do see it sometimes. But usually it's about accuracy, positioning, and just whether your STBs survive, your Batshats survive, and how much damage they do. Yeah,
basically. And okay, so roster change. We're taking Samo out and putting in Matil.
Okay.
And over on, on Team Efficiency side, they're going to keep the same lineup.
Yeah, that's right.
Itis stays in. Yep.
Just a small note, Shimip is not here today at all, looks like, so.
But it doesn't matter, as long as there's 7 people who show up on time. It's always really important to make sure, because this is a tournament, you have to make sure all your members who are going to play are there on time. And even if, this is why you have a big team. Yeah. If one person can't make it, then you make sure someone else can. Because if you don't have all 7, then you can't participate.
That's right. You can't play a 6v7, even though like EL would still probably win in most of their games. You can't play 6v7. It's not allowed. You have to have all your players there. Yeah. It's like soccer. If you have a soccer game where 2 of your players are missing, you can't just be like, well, I guess we just only have 1 forward. I'm like, no, that's just not allowed. So.
Well, I mean, they're the rules. They're WGL rules. Yeah. We definitely want to make sure that this is a very professional tournament. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Your spot going into being able to play in an offline event and also getting points for the actual grand finals, the world finals later on. So it's a really important tournament for these teams. And so I mean, I'm not even like Shimip might be busy today or something, or maybe they're like, well, you're not good on these maps. Like you can just like go practice on your own. We're not going to use you today.
Or like over the weekend, they might just decided, like Shimip says, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Sure.
Let's use this lineup instead. Or I'm sure there's different conversations that happen.
Yeah, sure. I'm not trying to say like Shimip was like, nah, I don't feel like it, but like he's just not being used today.
What do you have against Shimip, man?
Yeah. But yeah, like we've seen like already both teams use a variety of players today, and that's always one of those cool things that you can do in tanks.
I like that a lot. So it looks like both teams are pretty much ready. Yep.
Pretty much. We got everyone in the lobby. We got all 5 observers in. I think everything is set to go.
All right, guys, here we go. We're going to get into the first game on Cliffs. Welcome to Cliff, everyone. Set number 5. This is B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. B Gaming with 3 wins, Team Efficiency with 1, and they are going to attack first.
All right, guys, let's take a look at these tank lineups. Oh, TVP. Forgot about you. We haven't seen you yet today.
Oh, gosh. TVPs and Batshats. B Gaming going with a pretty heavy autoloader composition.
Yeah, I said earlier, like, Some Japanese teams like to go full autoloader. Obviously, never go full autoloader, never go full batch chat. But B Gaming, they brought one STB1 and an Object 140. It would have been totally full Japan if they had 2 STB1s and the rest autoloaders.
Yeah.
But for team efficiency, they're just running 2 TVPs, and they're bringing 2 Object 430s, which we have talked about a lot as the tank that's a little bit easier to hide behind structures or rocks, debris, whatever you want to call it, just hide behind landscapes.
All right. Well, already B Gaming have made their way to the arena, this little area here at the foot of the cliffs.
Now, the advantage to using a lineup that's so heavy in these TVPs is they're kind of like mid-range autoloaders, and if you have enough of them, there's always autoloader damage being available to you at any given point in time, because they reload pretty quickly. So you're just basically got constant damage and consistency. B Gaming gets the better position here, I would have to argue as well.
Yeah. Ooh. Skill and Dexta from afar. They're just going to go ahead and take shots onto both Super Hiroshi and Tamati, forcing them to move from their high ground position.
Pretty risky, though, because now that B Gaming knows they're up there, they might just try to cut those guys off.
I find it funny. I kind of find it not funny, but a little bit odd that Team Efficiency's autoloaders, they've kind of hidden on the side of the cliff.
Yeah, we see this every now and then. We see also players do this on even mines, where you just kind of hide your autoloaders and they come and try to clean things up at the end.
Here we go. So all 5 of these, they're going to come and try to get rid of Dexter.
Yes, this is exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, you took that shot, but guess what? Now you just lose 2 tanks for free. I don't think a single B Gaming tank will go down or take critical damage here. And your tier 9s are now out of the fight.
Oh gosh, yeah. That. But you know what? By doing that, all these autoloaders are now on reload.
That's true, but they are in a good position to
So
be
now,
safe.
yeah, Team Efficiency, they're just going to pop out, see if they can clean up after having all these autoloaders have nothing to do.
There's a very nice timing window here for them to actually make this happen.
All right, so Safi gets in there and sees what he can do.
It's gonna
But
take a lot
yeah,
of damage.
it does take a lot of damage. That was definitely a really good plan, but Safi ends up exploded instead.
He was basically alone.
Yeah.
Almost makes me wonder if the rest of his teammates didn't agree with that move. Or maybe they just weren't as prepared to really just crash in there as he was.
Yeah, 1 by 1 here. It looks like Team Efficiency losing out tanks. This looks like a quick win for
Yeah,
PG.
even if everyone ends up being on reload this time, there's not going to be enough tanks to actually overwhelm them. And eventually they may lose some tanks while they're reloading. But Team Efficiency is out of luck here, I would say.
Yeah.
Because also Tamati, he never really has to reload him. He's an S2-1. He's always going to have that shot available. And Griff's is the last to fall, and this will put B Gaming on match point. And at the very least, this will guarantee B Gaming, at the very least, 1 point. And it's no longer possible for Team Efficiency to get 3.
Yeah. Really hoping. You know what? That was a really smart idea, though. I totally understand the concept behind it.
Yeah, it seems like the rest of the team wasn't as quick to act on it. You know, it seemed like it was I was looking at this the same way as you. Like, okay, they've got a small timing window. They got to jump in and do this. They got this one opportunity, and only 1 tank ended up making it over there, and the rest of them were stuck around
They're
the
like,
map.
wait a second. Oh no, he's already left.
I think there was maybe some dispute in the team about that. I don't think we have enough time. I don't think they had enough time. If they were a little bit closer, I think it might have worked out. But I think. Only 1 tank, and I can't remember who it is for the life of me. Maybe Skell. I really can't remember.
Okay.
But anyway, that 1 tank ran in there and got a few shots off before they reloaded, but then they reloaded and he was out.
He was out. All right, looks like Tamati needs to reset his PC, reboot it. So we will wait for him, and we definitely don't want to play without him. Oh, we can't. Oh, they can, but I don't think they want to.
No. Well, I don't want them to play without Tamati. I think Tamati's really good player.
He is a good
Always
player.
makes me think of tomatoes for some reason.
So now that you've said that, every time he shoots, he's just throwing tomatoes instead.
Yeah, it always makes me think of tomatoes, and then if I think about it further, it makes me think about pizza. Then I get really hungry. Because with the TTI at the end, the tamati sounds more like Italianish or something, and then it makes me think about pizza. And
Is that what you think of over?
yeah, this is actually what happens when I'm casting World of Tanks. I see Tamati, I imagine the top of his turret is actually just a pizza spinning around, and I'm like, oh man, I could just definitely get a pizza right after this broadcast. That's what goes through Wolf's mind. Those moments when you space out, you're like, Wolf, do you think this is a good strategy? Pause for a minute. I'm like, right, I got to get back to the game. Not thinking about the pizza too much.
Well, I don't blame you on that. It is pretty late here in Korea, it's like 10 o'clock
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah, you know, sometimes.
This is when you get the late night munchies, right?
Exactly. Sometimes, like, I don't actually get to eat dinner before this for one reason or another. I've got other stuff going on right before the broadcast, so, like, I can't get food. So, like, by the end of the broadcast, like, sometimes it ends at, like, 1 a.m. I'm like, I need food now. Luckily, today I ate. Even still, I'm thinking about pizza, but I did eat, so I'm alive.
Everyone thinks about pizza. All right, well, going into this next game then on Cliff, and we have Team Efficiency obviously on the attack,
Yeah.
and they obviously don't want B Gaming to win this. What do they need to do?
I think it's just about consistently positioning their tanks better and getting the better damage off. And sending 2 54s on one side of the map is cool because you can do things like what they did with chip away at 2 of the tanks. But what happens is sometimes when you do that, then everyone else could just ambush you and kill you. So I think if they're going to keep tanks separated like that, I'd rather see them send their autoloaders away and do consistent damage with those after they start a brawl or something like that. But I think the big problem in that last game is losing 2 of their tanks for free, basically.
Yeah.
Like, they hit 1 tank each, and that's all they accomplished, and they were just
They
dead.
probably won't be there since they're going to be on the attack, right? And they'll probably
would hope.
hopefully get that high ground first.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see what kind of tanks they bring in because everyone's ready. Let's get into the next game. All right, guys, we're back on Cliff. This is match point for B Gaming, set number 6. Team Efficiency, do you have a win? Let's see if they'd be able to come back here.
Now, Team Efficiency is only running 1 TVP this time. They brought an Object 140 with their 430s. Maybe they bought it from B Gaming because B Gaming traded a 140, and now Neat Media is bringing the 430 instead. The rest of their tanks are exactly the same with 4 TVPs and an STB. So we're going to see how Team Efficiency wants to approach this on the defense now. Defense will always get to what we like to call the arena, the center brawl point on the map first, just slightly.
Right. Depending on which way they decide to come.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ma on the bat shot. He's going to try to go ahead to the high ground. He's going to be met with Super Hiroshi, though. Who's going to take that first shot?
Looks like they're both a bit nervous about it.
Oh, yeah, they are. When they have the single shot tanks going to do the dirty work for them. Nobody's getting hit, though. There has been no connection.
Looks like Neat
Ma.
Mania
Okay,
and
there we go.
Tiltil take a little bit of damage. So does Ma and Safi.
Oh, gosh, Ma, be careful. Get out of there.
He's way too exposed.
Yeah, Taki is doing way too much damage onto him right now, and he's already on reload.
All right, way too much damage being done to some of these things. Grift's even taking a shot here. Ma, long reload time before he's going to be relevant. Super Roshi still with full rounds available. And this means that definitely a stronger position for the next few seconds here for B Gaming. They did give up the high ground, though, after that trade, so they might want to try to sneak around. As you can see, the STB-1 is so hard to penetrate when you hit it directly in the face. Right at the front there, its armor is at its strongest. The weak point of the bat shot, or should be the STB-1, is the back. As you guys can see, it looks like a lot more, there's less armor there, easier to penetrate.
All right, Tamati heading all the way to the top of the lighthouse, see if he could do some damage from up there.
Dexter taking a hit. Looks like he's having an RU-251 battle with Nipa.
Yeah, I think so too. Nipa and Dexter both taking some damage.
I think Dexter will win that fight based on what I'm seeing on the health
That's
bars.
all we see, the health bar fight.
Yeah. Skell and Neat Mania have trading some blows here. Looks like 7mm is trying to cheat and give some support fire for Nipa.
No, it's a 1v1, man. You can't hop in there.
Yeah, I hope everyone knows that when I say cheat, I'm only joking. Like, no one is actually cheating in this game. Now,
Ooh, Skell on reload. He's going to try to take some shots from afar as well.
Slight lead for B Gaming. Position-wise, though, I mean, it's dead even with maybe a slight lead to Team Efficiency's position, especially because Ma's now reloaded up on the high ground.
Oh, Dexter does win that duel. Nipa goes down, and B Gaming is one less tank.
That does give a pretty big edge to Team Efficiency here, especially because they're taking Neat Mania down.
Yep, I think Neat Mania is the next target.
Taki is connecting with Safi, I believe. And
Ma's
Ma's like no fear. He's trying to finish off Neat Mania, and I think he will. Neat Mania just out of range, but if he goes just a little bit further back, Ma can kill him. Patience here. Incredible for Ma. Now, the health of the tanks on Team Efficiency is not very good overall. but they have a tank lead, and that's oftentimes more important. Death Skies goes down, though.
Death Skies does go down, but Neat Mania also very, very low.
Yep. Now, again, it's always important with the lineup with the TVPs to keep a look at those 4 bars underneath everyone's health, like how many rounds do they have left. Because if those run out, then there's timings, like last game, where Team Efficiency could punish them. Especially when they have high ground like this, they could even rush down the side of the cliff.
Yeah, that's really scary.
All right, Tamati, big man on campus here, trying to find a shot.
6 minutes left on the clock.
Really, really brave for Ma here. He's not reloaded yet.
Oh, God.
But Tamati, you know, he's almost reloaded. Tamati cannot fight him once he is, and Tamati might think he is reloaded because he's being so aggressive. Tamati might actually have to, like, just trade out as best as he can and die here.
This is interesting. Yeah, so B Gaming, they forfeit the front of the cliff. They're going to come around back over to the water side.
Yeah, this is really smart because then it's going to force the rest of these tanks to move out of position to stop the base capture.
Ooh, Tamati does get... Oh, gosh, look at this.
He's gonna slide down now. Watch this. He's going to do it.
No, Ma's going to take one shot. Come on, Ma. Do it again.
Tamati, just take the slide. Take the slide, Tamati. Do it. Listen
Ma,
to your heart.
finish him. Come on, finish him. Yes! Ma does finish him. He's up top. But he is so exposed now. What's he going to do?
Well, Team Efficiency is doing really good trading at the same time on the other side of the map.
Super Hiroshi finally does go down on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Ma's got total vision control here.
It looked like right now B Gaming wanted to see if they could contest that base capture, but no, they're not going to be able to. Skell on the STB-1, he's going to head up to the top of the the big lighthouse cliff as well.
I think we're going to steps, Susie.
I think so too.
I don't think that B Gaming can close this one out here. Ma, the MVP. Now,
Just waiting for that reload.
the real reason why B Gaming lost is because Smite didn't slide down. Look at that, so close to the slide. He would have died from fall damage, but it would have been a lot more fun. And we have seen Tamati do some crazy slide stuff on mines before.
Tamati the pizza. Thanks a lot, Wolf.
Yeah, all about that pizza now.
All right, everyone from B Gaming, they're going to come around again, see if they can flank from the side here.
It's going to be so incredibly difficult. They're way outnumbered. They do have autoloader damage. If they can focus fire and kill these 2 tanks, maybe they could get an opening.
Oh, the Safi does go down, and it looks like Griff's is next.
Oh my god, look at the health on some of these tanks.
Yeah. Skell from afar, he's going to have to do some serious damage. Ma, come around, buddy.
300 health on 3 tanks.
Neat Mania goes down. Taki goes
it.
down. Yep, 7mm is the last one left. Team Efficiency is going to bring us to steps with a win. Is this the start of a comeback?
It could be, Susie. Now, Steps is my favorite map ever since the death of Lakeville. Sad. Sad days back when we had Lakeville was one of our...
I like that map a lot. Lakeville was fun.
It became like we always thought about it being like where it become our vacation home and stuff. Like now it is our vacation home. We go there like after broadcast, but it's not actually a World of Tanks map anymore. But Steps is one of those maps that's really fun because it can either be decided by a crazy brawl or it's like longer, drawn out, more like Sniper Fest, shooting across the map position-wise. You have tanks try to control certain areas. But Steps has, since the beginning of the season, evolved quite a lot, and I think we're going to see basically purely slow games on this map because most teams are really playing safe. No one really wants to risk a brawl, especially not Team Efficiency right now because if they lose, then it's all over.
Yeah. So, player swap. We have on Team Efficiency, we're going to take Skell out and put Momiji back in. And I'm trying to see if there was a change over on B Gaming side. No, there was not. So Team Efficiency on Steps. They're on defense first.
Okay, so with Team Efficiency on defense first, I think this is going to be a really long game.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'd say this might even be like, it might even go down to like an 8-minute long game.
Okay.
Because I don't think that B Gaming is ever going to take any risk. Excuse me, I don't think that Team Efficiency is ever going to take any risks. On this map, when you brawl, you can't really brawl unless the other team agrees to. Otherwise, you run at them and they're like at a better position than you and you lose because you walk into their like
Or
setup
it's not going to be a long game, and because B Gaming know that they can afford to lose this next one and they want to just win it out, I think they might just go ahead and rush in and try to eliminate.
It could happen that way. That's definitely possible. Because we had especially Japanese teams, both Karen Tiger and B Gaming, do like to kind of I mean, not like throw games, but like really
No,
take
they
risky
like to
comps.
take risky
Yeah,
things.
when
They're
they're
very
ahead, they're like,
creative, and they like to just give new strategies a try.
yeah, they basically like get a little bit cheesy.
Yeah.
When they're ahead, they're like, no, we won this, it's over, let's get out of here. It has come back to bite a few teams in the past, forcing tiebreakers and things like that. But I feel like this is going to be a long game. I don't think B Gaming is gonna push too hard. Well, we'll see the tank lineups in a minute, and that'll probably give us a better idea as to how they're going to play this.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm starting to feel like, based on what we've seen on Prokhorovka as well as Cliff, and even a little bit on Runeberg with the TVP tanks, I think we're going to see a lot of those, probably on both sides. Because it's like, it reminds me of the T-54 tank, except it's an autoloader. It's pretty quick. It's a medium of the road, run-of-the-mill like autoloader.
It's like a Batshat, but not.
Yeah, it's like a little bit more sturdy, a little bit faster. It's not, I said it's like the T-54 lightweight. I just mean like, it gives me the same sort of feel when it comes to rolls, even though it's an autoloader and the T-54 lightweight is not. It's like quicker. You just kind of mass them up. You have like a ton of them. They build up your composition, and you can kind of sync the fire together to get focus fire targets down. Like how we used to see T-54 lightweights used on this map last season. And until this tank was added, the TVP tank, we saw Object 140s used on this map.
That's true. We haven't really seen the Object 140s all too much.
Yeah, they're kind of getting phased out because the TVP is just, I think personally, like much stronger and much better overall.
Poor guy. Poor tank.
Poor tank.
I guess the guy doesn't matter. The driver doesn't care. He's like, whatever.
But he's just going to drive the TVP now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I got an upgrade.
All right, guys, it looks like we are already on steps. Let's head into game number 7. Set number 7, B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. B Gaming with 4 wins, again, still on match point. Team Efficiency creeping back up with 2 wins. B Gaming on the attack.
B Gaming is running a more classic Object 140 base lineup with an STB1. Well, they're bringing 2 E5s also, which we saw a little bit of that on this map at the beginning of the season. We didn't see this map for a while. Then we weren't seeing E5s on this map at all. And now E5s are really popular today specifically, so I don't know what's going on with that. But we have 2 E5s in there. Team Efficiency is going to be running half Object 140s, half TVPs. In fact, even more Object 140s than B Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
So,
so the Object 140 hasn't gone away.
Yeah, so this tank lineup is, for Team Efficiency, a lot less beefy, but it's a lot more mobile, and it does have scary burst potential as a result.
Ooh, that was interesting. Yeah,
weird game.
Neba heading himself back into the little nook here, this little crevice.
We haven't really seen a defensive formation that gets this far forward. Usually the defense is set up in between like the spawn point and base capture 2. We're seeing this actually very far forward.
Oh gosh, yeah, Momiji already taking some damage here.
This is kind of crazy.
Wow, this is new for sure.
This is definitely much more exciting because we're already seeing blows traded here in less than the first minute. Oh, it looks like B Gaming might try to overwhelm here, but Safi and Momiji are definitely going to be able to help support.
Yeah.
Look at this. Dexta and Tilta Matilla are just going to run right into it. It looks like we are going to have somewhat of a brawl here right to start things off.
And it's strange because it's actually Team Efficiency being the ones to do it. All right, they're 1 for 1. Dexta and Tiltil both go down. It looks like Tamati is going to be the next target.
I got to give the edge to Team Efficiency here. I'm liking the trades they're taking. Death Skies will probably be the next target. Let's see if he can get one more kill before he goes down. I don't think so. Tamati too well placed.
Tamati has pulled back a bit. Safi is going to drive through the other side.
Safi reloading because he's not firing. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Death Skies goes down here, but so does Tamati.
So it's 1 for 1.
Super Hiroshi being so far away is actually really hurting B Gaming right now because if his firepower was here, they could actually just wreck. Like, they could destroy Team Efficiency. Team
Efficiency definitely came in with something that B Gaming was not prepared for.
Yeah, I was not prepared for this. I'm like, what am I watching?
You are not prepared.
And Nipa is so low. Down he goes.
Oh, wow.
I think Team Efficiency just wins this game. Sorry, B Gaming, that didn't work out.
That was a really interesting... Yeah, I can't believe this, actually.
Momiji does go down.
Yeah, this is still anyone's game.
And Super Hiroshi is an autoloader tank. The problem is all the tanks of Team Efficiency are so healthy that I don't think he's going to be able to like turn things around, especially if he comes in here without having his rounds. Way too soon to show yourself, Super Hiroshi.
Okay, Super Hiroshi does. Yep, here we go.
He needs to connect like all of them.
7mm goes down, but you know what? He's surrounded. He's just like, wow, they're just going to pin him to the side. He really can't do much and going to get blown up. Look at that.
Way too sloppy of a game there.
Team Efficiency going ahead and with the comeback, going to take their third win.
Yeah, Team Efficiency just taking a fight that B Gaming was not prepared for. Team Efficiency's response was very sloppy. Super Roshi was the missing link.
Yeah.
He was not there until it was way too late. Like, if he was there, he would have killed, like, one tank a little bit faster. Then he would have been out of the picture reloading for a while. Instead, like, he took long-range shots that weren't that good. He damaged a few tanks, but he didn't kill any tanks. He couldn't focus on any tanks. And part of the reason why he was out of position was not, like, his fault. It's just because he was really caught off guard.
Yeah.
But his response time, I felt like, was really weak. Like, he was like, nah, I'll just fight from far over here, but he didn't commit, and I think he didn't respond
especially because the bat shots are fast. You
Yeah.
know, you know that as soon as this brawl happens, he can get to a better position. But it felt like he kind of was hesitant, like kind of like a no, this isn't going to last there. I'll just wait out here.
Yeah.
But then it ended up finishing right there anyway.
The E5s went down like basically instantly, which meant the beef of the army of B Gaming was gone, and all they had was for damage was one autoloader versus the 3 TVPs that we saw for Team Efficiency. Did all their damage by the time they were reloading. The game was already won essentially. And when Super Roshi came in, it's like, okay, there's that autoloader damage, but the tanks you're up against are all healthy, so you can't finish them off. You can't clean them up. In fact, if he was up against like 4 tanks that had half health, maybe he would have had a better chance than like actually being basically 1v2 with the 2 tanks that have full health. So, not a good place to be.
All right, so now Team Efficiency on the attack. I mean, they seem to be wanting this win. They're inching back.
They want that tiebreaker. They want to get as many points as they can to the max they can get. If they get a win on this next map, they will at least get 1 point.
I was going to say, even if they get to tiebreaker, they still end up with 1 point, which is definitely better than 0.
Like right now, Karen Tigers are like doing a party dance, hanging out, like chilling out, watching before their next game that they're going to play after this.
Yep.
Going to themselves like, all right, cool. Like this could actually be less points for B Gaming.
All right, guys, let's go into game number 8. Welcome back to Steps. This is set number 8, B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. B Gaming with 4 match points still, but Team Efficiency inching back with 3 wins, and now they are on the attack.
All right, guys, let's take a look at these tank lineups. 2 E5s again here for B Gaming. 2 Object 140s, a Batchat, and 2 T54 mediums. Whereas for Team Efficiency, we got 3 140s, 3 TVPs, excuse me. So same lineup actually for both teams, with the exception of the T54s coming in for B Gaming. Yep. Otherwise, it's the same.
It's pretty much same?
Same position that B Gaming is taking to what Team Efficiency did on the defense.
Oh,
so
wow.
the meta on this map has changed like
They're pushing
overnight,
in,
basically.
yeah.
Like this is the new way this map is played. I guess probably because of the TVPs.
Maybe. Oh, but it looks like B Gaming, they're just going to back off. They came in.
Both teams are backing off.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, let's not fight. Let's have a 10-minute game on Steps. We had the fight game last game. It was like, oh yeah, let's try something different. It's actually so funny. They're both like, nah.
Nah, we just want to group up and go
This
somewhere.
is so weird. They look like 2 magnets repelling each other. Like they want to get as far away from each other as possible right now. Nobody wants to fight.
All right, they're both back at their spawn points. They're like, all right, let's try that again. Where to this time? Now it looks like B Gaming, they're going to try and spread around more textbook-like.
Yeah. All right, here comes Ma. He's going to be the first scouter tank. And he's getting around the edge here, but still no information. I think he's mostly just checking to see if B Gaming is not going to do some sort of crazy, like, all-in attack. Because every now and then that just happens on this map, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really, you don't really go like, oh, I see the plan here. Some of his teams just surprise teams with a big 7-man push.
You mean just like the game right before?
Yeah. And so, it's always important to be wary of that potential so that you can set up for a defense. That was much more popular last season with our T54 lightweights. And sometimes a 1390 sneaking in. But, anyway, This is the kind of game I expected we were going to see last game, where everyone's like, kind of like, nah,
Yeah.
let's be safe, you know.
Even more so now, team efficiency just so close to getting to that tiebreaker.
Well, there's nobody over there. I'm sorry, Super Roshi.
Yep.
There's like
just,
not even.
They're just double checking.
Yeah. And they had that like moment that we just saw on camera. There was like highlights so much how little these teams know about what the other one is doing right now. There's like such a lack of information. Okay, Samu finally gets some idea. He gets 6 cents, so he knows that at least there's at least one tank for team efficiency to the south of him here. But he doesn't know how many. No one can get a visual just yet. They're too far away, and there's too many bumps in the way.
Yeah, all right, well, yeah, B Gaming in a good defensive position. They have both bases covered. Now the question is, how is team efficiency going to run in and do this? Maw needs to go and find more information. Samo does take a shot at Safi, misses.
Yep. Well, it looks like team efficiency is just going to kind of hold their horses here.
Their horses?
Yeah. Hold their horses, you know, like...
Hold their tank reins.
Yeah, like grabbing those, the thrusters on those tanks or the gas pedal and putting it into neutral for a minute.
He might fall off. All right, Maw on the hunt. He's just going to drive down this road, see if he can... They really have no idea where the other team is.
This happens sometimes on this map because the map is so big and wide open that if you want to go scout, like if you send your R251 even like barely even closer to where Maw is right now, like he just gets blown up because everyone's looking, everyone's scanning the horizon. So both teams are kind of scared of each other, and there's no way to get vision. Like on another map, like say Himmelsdorf, if you don't know where they are but you know their general direction, you can go around a corner and get 6 cents while you have coverage. So you're like, oh, there's a tank over here. My 6 cents went off, but I'm safe because I'm around the corner. Whereas on this map, you can't really just go kind of blind check or you'll die. So, but team efficiency is in a good position to start threatening that capture point.
Ooh, the object. That guy finally made it across the railroad track.
He like sees all the dents on the ground. He's like, wow, they thought I was over here earlier, but now I'm here. All right, looks like RU251 gonna force that timer to start.
All right.
It's Maw on that tank, and now this is going to be a bit of a relocation for B Gaming. They're going to carefully figure out how to respond to this. They don't have any TVPs in their lineup, so their auto loader damage is relegated to Super Hiroshi.
All right, well, the TVP is left for team efficiency. They're going to try to see if they can give backup fire from far away.
I think they're going to try to come from behind and just totally shock and disrupt B Gaming as they try to push across.
Oh, Maw does get hit, resets that timer, and again. And again.
Looks like that time he might have stepped out
he needs
voluntarily.
to step out, yeah. But while they're doing this, it's almost like B Gaming knew this, and they just went ahead and checked base capture number 2.
Now, those T-54 mediums are going to spot this push of the TVPs, and they might be able to slow them down. Well, this is a really stressful moment for B Gaming because the position for team efficiency kind of splits them into 2 groups. And B Gaming can kind of figure out where team efficiency is most fragile right now, but they basically can't make any mistakes or team efficiency's lineup will just rip them apart with all that auto loader damage.
I really think that B Gaming thought that they were joking when they started capture number 1. They all moved over to capture number 2, thinking that maybe the team would be there, but...
It does seem kind of like a bait, right? When you put just the RU251 in there, it's like, well, are they just going to try to flank us? That's the reason why I love this map so much. That's why it's my favorite map, is because with the tank lineups, we do see big rotations between capture points. We see big movements like this.
All right, well, he has to get off of that because he knows that they're coming. Maw.
Death Skies can give a lot of coverage, even if he dies here. Look at this. They're already getting some serious hits off on B Gaming's members. Okay, Death Skies will likely be taken out here. If he escapes, then team efficiency has a huge advantage. Look at that. I think he actually might escape. His treads got hit.
He needs to fix his treads and get out of there, and I think he does. He's able to still make it out. Very nice.
Very impressive.
Oh, gosh, but he's getting shot at now from another angle.
Yeah, I don't think he should have gone all the way around the house.
It's fine.
He's still baiting these tanks. They're going to go 1 for 1.
Look at this. Yes, 1 for 1.
Nearly.
Nipa does finish him off. Death Skies does go down, but
They didn't get Tamati, so this does give it an edge to B Gaming slightly.
Momiji is going to go ahead and try to finish off Nipa instead.
Now, Team Efficiency, oh, look at this. Team Efficiency could actually just back up into base capture too, like put everyone in reverse, get back there, and then stop B Gaming from denying them. I think they're going to wait a little bit longer before they do that just to make sure they can control this space. But no one from B Gaming can deny that base capture right now. They're going to have to be more aggressive.
I love that it's Maw just like hopping from one base to the other. But
Now,
yeah, look how, okay, we see 3 tanks right now on this side of the map, but all the way on the back, you can see the rest of the team. They are completely split up. Right now, if Team Efficiency play it well, they're going to be able to pick tanks off.
Yeah, Super Roshi, though, gets a good angle here, and now Team Efficiency is basically sandwiched between these 2 small groups of tanks. The base capture continues, but there's only 1 tank in there. Dexter goes down.
Oh, yeah, Dexter does go down.
Looks like a crit on him there, going down very quickly, and now it's a 4v7. And I think that the idea here for Team Efficiency was excellent, but they got slightly outmaneuvered at the end of the day.
All right, Maw is going to get reset pretty soon. Nipa is on his way to him. Safi needs to run away. Griffs does go down. Team Efficiency, unfortunately, losing tanks. They got so close, but not close enough. B Gaming, I think, is going to go ahead and take this.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say, let's see if B Gaming loses a single tank. The answer is no. And they will get their full 3 points of the 5-3 score.
Oof, that was a very close game, though.
And that prevents all of the points for Team Efficiency. So even though it was a really close series, they're not going to go home with anything. And also, Karen Tiger is probably looking at this with a little bit of tension. Like, okay, B Gaming got their 3 points. We've got to make sure we get ours.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, that was something else. All right, guys. Well, we
Got
actually
some crazy news.
have some crazy news. During that time, we got a little bit of message that Immortals versus Karen Tiger, the Immortals didn't have all 7 members come in on time, and they just didn't have enough members to play. So Immortals will be disqualified for today's match, and Karen Tiger get a 3-point win.
So that means that they will be tied with B Gaming at 18 points, just below Horseman at 19. So they're both like staying tied for 5th place right now.
I'm sure B Gaming is just like, why? Oh, yeah. Immortals. Anyway, also, we got news that PvP Super Friends, just like on Thursday, didn't come in to play with EL Gaming. They once again didn't have enough people to come and play with EL Gaming today.
Yeah, so they will...
We're gypped of 2 EL Gaming games.
Yeah, that's really sad, but EL will walk away from today with 3 points as well, which puts them just 1 point shy of catching up with Super Noobs at 30 points to the 31.
Yeah. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the results then for today. That was
for our only match of the day,
Our
basically.
only match of the day, yeah. We had B Gaming versus Team Efficiency. Really, really close matchup and some great games there. 5-3, B Gaming go ahead and win 3 points.
Yep. And then we had our 2 DQs. Karen Tiger get 3 points over the Immortals, and EL win over Super Friends. Both teams failing to have 7 members present at check-in. And so 2 free wins there for Karen Tiger and EL Gaming.
And that's why I keep saying how important it is. You have to have your team ready. You know, this is not just like some tournament that's happening, you know, among friends or community, and you're like, you're late, that's fine.
Yeah, this is not like someone's like, it's fine, we can delay the tournament. No, this is like televised broadcast that we're up here on the Twitch stream. Fans are tuning in. Fans are waking up on time to watch the matches. The players got to be there.
I know. All right, well, let's take a look at the rankings now then. Super Noobs still on top. 31 points.
Yeah.
EL, I mean, they got 30 points. They're just collecting these 3 points so easily. They're just passing go and getting $200 each time.
Basically.
Yeah.
Now, Horseman is 1 point ahead at 3rd place with Karen Tiger and B Game, but there can only be 4 teams in the playoffs. So those Japanese teams battling out. Now, again, if Horseman loses their next match and both Karen Tiger and B Gaming win, we could have both Japanese teams in the top 4 and Horseman out like last season. But for the Immortals and the Super Friends, I have to basically give my disappointment for them down there at the bottom of the rankings and failing to show today in such an important time. They may find themselves in the Silver League very quickly as team efficiency is getting better and better.
Yes, they are.
And, you know, they took 3 games off of B Gaming today. that's looking pretty good for them.
Absolutely. They've been taking really, really interesting games off of very, very strong teams.
Top teams.
Yeah. And so I'm now even more so rooting for Team Efficiency to get there into that 6th place position.
They've also shown up for all of their games.
Absolutely.
They've not missed a single time.
Very, very professional team. Yeah.
So anyway, that's just like my mini rant about that. And if this continues to happen, you will hear me talk about this again like last season, but I'm not going to get too deep into it right now.
But yeah, so basically between Horseman, B Gaming, Karen Tiger, those 3 just literally going back and forth.
Yeah,
like.
Super Friends, Team Efficiency, and Immortals are ineligible for playoffs because of, like, even if they won the rest of their remaining matches, they simply wouldn't have enough points to make it. So for those 3 teams, it's about who gets the bottom 2 spots and who's going back to Silver League and who's going to stay in Gold Series.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Thursday's matchups then. On Thursday, January 21st, we have Team Efficiency again playing EL Gaming. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. But if they could take games off, I'd be very proud of them there.
Yeah, same. And then we're going to go into Karen Tiger versus Super Friends. Assuming the Super Friends make it with 7 players on time, we'll have that second match. And then the final match, which is really important, is going to be Horseman versus B Gaming. The winning team will secure that playoff spot for now. Like, they'll actually get top 4.
That is actually super exciting. I'm excited for match number 3 more so than the other 2 for Thursday here. Wait, yes, Thursday.
Yeah, that's going to be Thursday.
So that's January 21st, Thursday, 8 o'clock UTC +8, and that's 9 p.m. Korea Standard Time. That's where we are in freezing South Korea right now.
So cold.
And we will be able to bring you guys these games next Thursday. It's in a couple of days now, so you'll have a few days to rest up and do what you need to do, but definitely come join us on Thursday to come see that. So, very, very short night, but great games nonetheless. I'm really glad it at least went to 8 games.
Yeah, we got to see the first series. Was pretty cool. Team Efficiency really impressing despite the fact we only got to see one best of 9.
Absolutely, and we will see you again on Thursday night. Good night.